Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called Puzzle. After years of concerning herself exclusively with the needs and wants of her husband and sons, Agnes has found something that she wants to do: puzzling, stepping out of her domestic bubble to pursue her new hobby. Agnes meets Robert, a wealthy, reclusive inventor who recruits her as his partner for an upcoming World Jigsaw tournament. Each day she spends out in the world takes Agnes further along on the road to a new understanding of herself. This is a 2018 film. It is rated R, and it runs, oh, I'd say about 2 hours. Yeah, it's a little under 2 hours. Maybe an hour and 50 minutes or so, something like that. So this stars Kelly MacDonald, Irfan Khan, David Denman, Bubba Weiler, Austin Abrams, and Liv Houston. If you know who any of those people are. We do know Irfan Khan, this guy right here. And the husband in this is really familiar. But I can't say I know Kelly MacDonald from anything particular. Like, just, oh yeah, she's really from that. I don't really recognize her much. So, but otherwise, oh, here's the husband. Right there, that guy. So, he's familiar. And maybe that's David Denman. But, so anyways, Puzzle. It's the name of the movie. Never heard of this movie before. I don't think anybody out there probably has. I'll be surprised how many people actually watch this review because they won't know about this movie. And so I'm just gonna kind of talk freely about this. I I'm not one of those reviewers that sits down and watches a movie and writes down something that's really awful or really great while it happens. I like to watch the whole movie. I like to collect my thoughts over the next day. And I mean, I watched this yesterday. I like to do that, just to take the night to sleep on, what I saw and kind of, talk calmly about it the next day. I don't edit my videos or anything, so I just like to talk freely. And honestly, last night when I was done watching this, I was really disappointed. I was really confused, and I'm still like that. But, like if I were to sit down and write down all the things that were awful and all the things that were good about this movie, there'd be a lot to write down because it's really confusing and it really has a lot of potential at the beginning. I was like, okay, a movie called Puzzle. Are we gonna, have like 10 different, competitions, or are we gonna have, it be a puzzle of a movie where you have to kind of find out who killed somebody? I didn't know what it was gonna be about, but I was like, wow, really neat name of a movie. It could go like 10 different ways. It could be a mystery, it could be an adventure, and it wasn't anything. It was very bland, so it's kind of a disappointing movie. But why it says on the cover that it's so good from some reviewer is that it appeals to your senses. It appeals to people who feel like they're locked in a lifestyle and they're not happy. And I think a lot of people are like that. So I can understand some people and enjoying this. But other than that, there's not much to this movie, and it gets really like freaky, and then it gets crazy, and then just as a movie, it really misses the boat on the ending. It doesn't show this big competition that the movie's all leading up to, and and then it after that some emotional stuff that happens goes without explaining anything, and then the movie just ends. And it's just movies like this that are around that people want to watch, but then they're just disappointing. And there's a lot of them like this. I've watched thousands and thousands of movies in my lifetime, and every time a movie has a really crappy ending, I say so. This movie has a crappy ending. It doesn't explain the sons and what they end up deciding to do. Excuse me. Sorry. It doesn't explain what the sons are trying to do. It doesn't explain what happens between our main character, Agnes, and her husband. It doesn't explain what happens to Agnes and her puzzle making partner. And it has kind of Agnes riding off into the sunset. It's kind of weird. And the place that she's going, she mentions it once in the movie, and it's very random. It doesn't seem to have any significance. And all the stuff that's suggested throughout this film doesn't hold any grain. You know, it doesn't do anything. She has these puzzles of like old artwork of these, you know, naked women. You know how the Romans and Italians, whatever, have sculptures of naked people. Like that would almost suggest that she has, you know, favorable tendencies towards women or something, but you know that never comes up again. I just don't understand the point of all the suggested stuff in this movie, all the stuff that actually happens. It's just very awkward. I feel sorry for the characters in here. Like I said, I know at least the two guys, and I know they've done better stuff than this. And I just kind of felt sorry for them being in here. So some of the conversations, she towards the end when things are getting a little hostile, she calls one of her sons a punk, and the kid says, "A punk." And that's just how I felt with this movie was, you know, oh, somebody says something, and I just kind of cringe that they just said that. That's the whole movie for me. So I just think it's funny that they put that in the movie for themselves. Like they're cringing on the dialogue themselves. You know, they're questioning themselves. So I just think that's the utmost example I can give you for this movie called Puzzle. Like I said, I feel sorry for these people, and I have to give Puzzle a D minus, my lowest grade ever. It's just not worth your time. It's not worth anybody's effort to try and think of this in any different way other than really, 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 really bad. So I might look up this director and just see if he's done anything else. Maybe this was his first project, and that would explain why it was so bad. But that's just what it is, and nobody can get around it. Okay, a D minus for Puzzle. Thanks a lot, guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give something to watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would, and enjoy your movies. Thanks.